Apart from me fender. We not have to call no name, they know who we attack.
When we talk about we are blood and fire, comrade, we're resilient, we're passionate, we're determined to see change. We're determined to see change. We're not afraid of nobody. We are going to do what we have to do. We are going to do what we have to do.
We are determined to see change. And the next message was we are going to do what we have to do to see those changes. Right in our faces, he was telling us of the future plans. Well, stay tuned, everyone. I have a little insight as to what those plans may be because we have seen them at work within the PNP's internal elections. And we are seeing them played out in front of our eyes in their pre-election preparations. But before we get into that, let me welcome everyone to Jamaica 411. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm your host, Michelle Stern. Welcome back to my subscribers and viewers, and welcome to all new subscribers and viewers.
But I want to tell some of the little GLP apologists in the media, and don't worry yourself. I love we are dealing with, you know. The word is love, you know. When we talk about we are blood and fire, comrade, we're resilient, we're passionate, we're determined to see change. We're not afraid of nobody. We are going to do what we have to do. But we are doing it within the law. And we are doing it with love for our country. Because we love Jamaica. And we love our people. So you don't have to worry about that. Just enjoy the music, man. Lick it again, the selector.
Coded language. We're determined to see change. We're not afraid of nobody. We're going to do what we have to do. Because we love Jamaica. Coded language. Telling us to our faces. Because you're arrogant. You heard the way he started. Those little apologists, JLP apologists in the media. So he thinks that he can come out and tell us that them have something planned. They are determined to win state power in this country. Within the law is what they said. They will do what they need to do to gain power. And they will skate as close to that line between what is legal and illegal as they can. That is what they're telling us. But you may ask the question, what could have caused a group of people to want power so badly that they are prepared to take risk? They are prepared to risk it all, including their very lives, to go against the wishes and desires of the people. Because that was what they did within the People's National Party. They took control of the party against the wishes of the comrades. They formed groups, fake groups, 400 fake groups with 600 delegates. And all they had to do was to keep the ones that they had won over when they challenged Dr. Peter Phillips. And by use of those fake groups, they were able to secure victory. The problems they have had for the past 5 years, since then, almost 5 years, is that the people never wanted them. The country never called them, but they fought their way to that position, and they were facing and still are facing the backlash. They have no workers, not in those constituencies and divisions where you have risers. No. They have very little money. The candidates are the ones who have to find the money, sponsors, and all those events you're seeing. It's them that's spending because they are not wanted. And this is what happens when you go against the people. You are not going to find that the people will change their minds because you win. It does not work that way. If the people don't want you, they don't want you. If the people don't like you, they don't like you. The voice of the people is the voice of God. The people are supreme in any political system, any system at all. It is their voices, their will, which determine the course of events in any society. And you go against them at your own peril. And so it is the elements within the People's National Party. Peter Bunting, Mark Golding, Dayton Campbell appear willing, determined even, to take those steps on this dangerous journey down this perilous road to what may be their end of the road, a lonely road to their political oblivion. Maybe worse. And for them, their political demise will mean nothing to anybody. Nothing at all. There will be no weeping. There will be no cries for justice for them. No disturbance in this society whatsoever. None. None for them. And you ask why? Simply, they are an insignificant, uninspiring, inconsequential, boring, thieving, greedy, treacherous parasites. That's why there is not a soul in the People's National Party, no strongman in any PNP garrison or enclave who would be moved to organize or forced to assist any of you after you miscalculate, overplay your hands, and find yourselves in jail for organized crime, gang-related activities, money laundering when you are caught carrying those bags of money, or electoral malpractice. The same thing you wish for others may reach you, and there will be no disturbance because nobody in the People's National Party like Uno. There may even be celebrations all over. 3 sitting ducks of a politicians, no backative. There has never been any politician anywhere in history, certainly not in this country, that finds himself in a position of these 3 stooges. Peter Bunting, Mark Golding, Dayton Campbell. 3 sitting duck politicians, and is Uno when go try to subvert our electoral system? Uno don't understand Uno position. Uno no have no backative. And to be able to do what Uno plan to do and get away with it, Uno must have backative. Any police personnel who attempt to assist any of you will be interdicted. Them can't back you up. You know how no backative, and they are not your backative. They will be interdicted. So we are waiting.
We're resilient. We're passionate. We're determined to see change. We're not afraid of nobody.
Why is that? Why are you not afraid of anybody? And who are these anybody you're talking about? And what is more, what it is that give you the impression that you should not be afraid of anybody? We have police, we have soldiers, we have courts. But you not afraid of anybody. And you not have no backative. The labor rights them have backative. Them have a man with them love. And you, Peter Bunting, you like to go on the political platform and run your mouth. The only term they're going to get is a prison term. Him a backative. And plenty people prepare for back him up. But who you have? You know nobody. If anything, it is you who may find yourself in prison. If what you plan to do to win the election backfire upon you, one mistake is all that it takes. And any policeman can carry any one of you go lock you up because you don't have no backative. And because you don't have no backative, and there is no anticipation or expectation that there will be any stone thrown anywhere on this island to defend Uno. Uno are the one we're vulnerable. The likelihood of a prison term will be for Uno. Make sure whatever Uno doing at the election or Uno try to do to win, make damn sure Uno not get caught. And I can tell you now, Uno going to get caught. Traveling in Jamaica with a bag of money is illegal. Using that money for anything else other than legitimate reasons is money laundering. And if the policeman catch any of you with a bag of money, whether on a car or on a person, is prison that you're looking at. Uno no have no backative. When Uno had a meeting in Augustown or Papine sometime this year, it was recorded and published in the newspaper that Uno wanted the Zoso to be lifted. I heard and brought it to the attention of the resistance leaders. And I asked that important question. Why is it that they want the Zoso to be lifted? Is it because they want to use the resources available to the party to ensure that they secure the victory or the votes in Augustown? Because with Zoso, the gunmen have to keep themselves at bay. With the Zoso gone, the soldiers gone, and the police gone, then these gunmen, political gunmen, will be able to secure the votes that they need to win Eastern St. Andrew. If you are found in the company of any gang, or if you utilize the resources of any gang, you could be charged under the anti-gang law. And you will. You know why? Because you don't have no backative. You're vulnerable. There is nobody going to come to your rescue. Not at the top of the society and not at the bottom of the society. Nobody in the legal business and nobody in the legal business. Nobody is going to come to the rescue. So, looking at money laundering charges, looking at anti-gang related charges, and then, of course, there is the electoral malpractice. Attempting to buy votes or attempting to subvert the electoral system. That is what Uno facing. Now, Uno can always try to undermine the Labour Party's ground machinery on election day by playing all kind of chicanery, putting out rumors, for argument's sake, that the police is going to be locking up any taxes them see with Labour Party supporters. Uno can pass around that rumor claiming that the police are PNP police, of course it would be a lie. The police know them something there. But it don't matter. As long as on election day or the day before no pass out that rumor, it will make the taxi man them afraid. Because after all, them still have them lives to live after the election day. Uno could try that. Uno could also try by calling the taxi man to say you are paying your runners X amount of dollars, how much you will get paid, knowing very well what the pay is, to try and stir up trouble in the Labour Party camp. When the runners them decide that them not going to work because them not get enough money and want to know how the money part to go. Yes, you can try that. Because there must be a reason why uno targeting taxi men. What happened? Uno na have no runners. The runners them who are comrades decide to them now work with no risers. Is that what is happening? Because when Peter Bunting does anything, it must be for a reason. And it cannot be that you're meeting with these taxi people simply to get votes. Why taxi and why that route? When you can stand on a political platform and talk to them as effectively, but you're meeting with them. And so he has a plan in mind. And then, of course, Laba Laba Mouth, Dayton Campbell had to ball it out, telling the taxi men that they must not carry the Labour Party supporters go vote. And the flimsy excuse that the Labour Party claiming that these people are criminals and so on. But I'm sure nobody is calling decent, respectable taximen criminals. And they must know that too. And secondly, I'm sure that even those taximen know that some of them are criminals. And some of them are doing things they should not do. So they know that when people talking about those persons who are driving taxis, who are kidnap people and do all kind of things, none of them nobody at talk about. And they will be very happy to get those people out of the system, because the next time them take what's money, it might be for them picnic, for them wives or girlfriends, them mothers and fathers, aunties or uncles or grandparents. So they don't have any interest in having any person who do that kind of thing to people, them driving taxis like them. So Laba Laba Mouth couldn't help it. Such an idea is so brilliant, he couldn't keep it to himself. So he stood up on the political platform and bawled out what the plan is. And what is that plan? The plan is that on election day and before, they armed with the numbers, the telephone numbers of those JLP runners, will now be in a position to stop them from working by whatever means. By whatever means indeed. And then they'll be able to steal the election, because the Labour Party's groundwork would be in disarray. People live sometimes more than a mile away from the polling clusters. Many of them elderly, can't manage, and some will not come unless you send drivers for them. You disrupt that, and you have the election in the bag. After all, they only have between 7 o'clock in the morning and 5 o'clock in the afternoon to counter that move. And with the ground machinery being divided into constituencies and divisions and so on, it will be very difficult for them to recover from that blow. Yes. Problem with uno, is that uno smart until uno fool. And uno think is only uno one have sense, and uno can just play along and just move along and nobody notice. Nobody would notice. And then uno would have the election in the bag against the wishes of the people. Because if you really believe you could win this election, you wouldn't need to be attempting to sabotage your opponent's electoral machinery. And as far as you are concerned, as long as you win, you know nothing else matters. Because the governor general is going to name one of your prime minister, and then you can now move against your opponents. The problem is them have backative, and you're going to have to tread carefully if you don't want disturbance in the country. But as long as the crown is on your head, you now control everything, including the electoral office, that is going to have to investigate every electoral malpractice that will be carrying on that day. And UNO will be in a position to put an end to that because of UNO control, particularly the public purse. And then the people confused, you think, would not know what to do. Problem is, the man who no plan to put up front is a white man. And let me tell you something about that. Because if you're going to do things like these, it is wisdom to go back into the past and look at consequences of moves like these. Now, I don't know that we've ever had any such thing here in Jamaica, but you can look to the continent of Africa. You see plenty of examples of what occur when people steal elections against the people's will. And then you can come back to Jamaica because we have largely a slave plantation. For the most part, the people are cowardly and afraid. However, that does not appear to be the situation when I'm dealing with white people. Look back in history. After the slavery was abolished, we had one bus stop in 1865. As a matter of fact, before we got to 1865, we had a big bus stop in 1838. Then we had another one a few years later in 1865. And anything we want the Englishman to do, them do it. Because after the 1865 bus stop, the rebellion, they introduced Crown Colony, which meant that they suspended the assembly and only the group that the governor appoints to, it's the equivalent of the Senate today, only they alone existed. Within 20 years, we start to raise backside and say we elected representatives, and they acquiesced. And it was a crown colony, which was in effect not so crown colony, if you know what I mean, because the assembly was restored and it went on. In 1935, there was a great to-do, and Norman Manley, having investigated, found that it had no leaders, although it appeared as though it was organized and the people were acting as one, as if one in the spirit. There was nobody organizing them. We saw that same thing in 1999. Yes. But in 1935, it was to do with the labor demonstration, riot, people got killed, and the thing spread like a wildfire throughout the island. I am telling you this, Peter Bunting, Mark Golding, and Dayton Campbell for no one good. That was because the white man was running things. And it was very clear to the black people of this country, the pure-blooded, unmixed 92% of the people of this country, that the white man is their enemy. Particularly a white man that don't identify with him. Norman Manley was able to give the governor good advice in settling the matter. And how was it settled? Gave the workers what they wanted. every shilling and pence. It never go long after that. 3 years after that, in 1938, another to do. The workers again raising backside. And everybody went on strike, down to the household helper. Yes, the ones looking after Bakra and his children went on strike. Dock workers, whole place locked down. And Norman Manley was there to the rescue again. This time him and Bustamante went all over the place talking to people and giving them every shilling them asked for. They got, I do believe, 20% increase. The reason for that is that there was this fear that the people were going to rise up against the system. And we as Black people, when we rise up, when we are provoked into rising up, we no ease up and we no spare nothing. Go and look at what happened in Rwanda as an example if you want one. Same people. So it was fear of what can happen, also why they decided that they were going to look into this idea of universal adult suffrage. They didn't want to do it. They sent mass mind down here and then came to a decision. And we became the first nation who is non-white, first non-white nation in this world to introduce universal adult suffrage. I am telling you all of this because the white man never fear we, because he had no reason to. He had every reason to understand the people of this country and fear them. And this dunce of a white man talking about him not afraid of anybody, and uno planning to subvert the electoral system and impose on yourself on the people who don't want to know. And he's saying him not afraid of anybody. I wonder why. Me keep asking, why is it that he's not afraid? Is it that he's confused that since we have taken over since 1944, and we got our independence in 1962, we have not seen the kind of rebellion taking place in Jamaica like we saw when the British were here? Is it that him think that the people are now different, soft and sweet and not to be feared? Tell that retard of a white man this, that the reason why the people appear to be soft and sweet and not to be afraid is because it's we own people a rule over we. And therefore we understand that they are not our enemies. That is the difference. But uno want to come and subvert our electoral system and put a white man there, the symbol of what we know and understand to be our enemy, and think nothing is going to happen. Try it. Go right ahead and try it. I can guarantee uno no hanobakitive. And the police will be watching uno. On election day, uno with the bags of money. Uno with the bags of money. All uno that linking and giving directions to gangsters. To gangsters and gunmen. What them should do and where them should go. We know them not going to polling station for them area. They will not have any ink on their fingers. And I tell you, we're going to announce where we will be. And Mark Goling, if you think you're bad, smell bad even, send any more of your goons. Come anywhere you hear we're going to be. Mark G, our G is all I want to see. Me, I don't know about the others. Marky G, are we G? Or them have on Sarah Marshall shirt. Or them have on Newland shirt. Just a catch off on wall. And when we look, we don't see no ink on finger. Then I will understand what that mean. Criminals is what you send out there to do what, me no know. But the police will be out there too. Me personally will call them and alert them to the fact that there are some wanted men over there because they have to be wanted. Why them not vote? They don't vote because they cannot go to them polling station. Police and soldiers are out there. And that is not good for them person to be caught by police and soldiers for whatever crime it is that they are wanted for. So you send them out. Send them out again. Send them out again. Because you're not afraid. Well, send them out again. Send them out again.
But I want to tell some of the little GLP apologists in the media. And
You want to tell some of the little JLP apologists in the media what a powerful man you are. What a powerful man. The people them don't got jungle back you. You sure about that? You sure the people them a jungle back you? Make sure whoever you send out, wherever you send them to, when the people refuse to come out and vote because you are a riser, and that is what we're going to make them know. Don't come out, come vote. Stay at them yard. Turn on a yard. Or you're a riser, you're not PNP. So send out your man, them go for them. Because them will be going to prison. And they will be offered the opportunity not to go to prison if them only say who it is that send them to go to the people and intimidate them. You better make damn sure that these are people that will back you up before you send them out. Yes, because you're a bad man. Well, we're going to see if you're as bad as you think you are, or as we would say in Jamaica, you smell bad. Folks, that's all I have to say today. Make we watch and see the moves. Them not afraid of anybody. Them is above the law, below the law, sideways of the law. So them no need to fear nobody. Problem is, them no have no backative. So, let us watch and see how it turn out for them. Thank you all for sharing, liking, subscribing, and leaving your comments in the comments section. Take very good care of yourselves and walk good.
but I want to tell some of the little GLP apologists in the media. And don't worry yourself. I love who we are dealing with, you know. The word is love, you know. When we talk about we are blood and fire, comrade. We're resilient. We're passionate. We're determined to see change. We're not afraid of nobody. We are going to do what we have to do. But we are doing it within the law.